Ha 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 ha. Aaron Ramsdale to Man United in place of Andre Onana. Laughable. Have you heard about it? My name is Web Daniel Sevachije. Welcoming you again to yet another day to talk Man United, but also to give you some good news. What you've all been praying for, asking for, has finally been gifted by the man above, I should say. Guess what? It's not Ramsdale to United. The gift is our online training, how to make money online, that I've been talking about here every day for the past couple of weeks, is now fully going to be online. We have cancelled the physical training. It's going to be a fully online training on the 17th of May, same date. You will still have to pay 20,000 shillings to access it, access the public training, or $5 to access the public training. And the reason, of course, is because many people have been asking, saying, guys, we cannot transport ourselves from wherever we are to come there. It's going to become too expensive. And it makes sense, to be honest. But also people are beginning to feel, well, you're just being, selective. You're just, well, you did this for your Entebbe people. You could have not advertised this as well. And I'm like, guys, I mean, I hate to be hated. I hate to be hated by people. I work for the people, for the masses. So this is exactly what we've done. So there is no more physical training at the Flight Motel. It's going to be strictly online on the 17th of May on Zoom. So you pay your 20K or $5, you get an exclusive Zoom link that can only allow you to access it and, of course, enjoy the training. But also, even now, before then, even after, continuously, we are going to be holding private trainings. So you can say, me, I want to learn this particular thing. We give you your full 2 hours. For us, the first training will be to give you the whole portfolio, if I would call it that, of things you can do and make money online. There is a lot of things you can do. We'll show you. You just pick what works for you, and you choose, what to go with. But you might already know what you want to do, but you just don't know how to do it. So you can as well just book your private time. That's 50,000 Uganda shillings. That's about $12. If you're going to book a private training, it's a one-on-one, your own 2 hours on you. That's 50,000 Uganda shillings, which is about $12 or thereabout. So book your time now and let's enjoy making money online. We learn the many ways, how you do it, how you start, what you need to prepare for, what the common mistakes that are made, what you do, one by one, in the many, many diverse ways you can make money online. So guys, read the scroll. The number is there, 0784750280. That's the number. And of course, our guys, our trainers, we even have more trainers. Now that it's even online, there will be even more trainers, guys. More trainers are going to come on board to be just helping you to get the best of it. But speaking of the best, for me, this is the best news I've had in a long time. Not because I want it to happen, because it's the funniest. And you see, I told you this year, I'm all about joy and happiness. Anything funny, that's for me. So it's funny that Man United is being linked with Aaron Ramsdale. According to a report from The Sun and a few other sources, apparently United have added Aaron Ramsdale on the list of goalkeepers they want to replace Andre Onana or Tom Heaton or Altel Baindale, whoever they have decided to let go of. Now, laughable, isn't it? Because you're talking of a guy who has been relegated twice, a guy who was rejected by Arsenal. Good goalkeeper, if you ask me. In fact, there are people who would argue that Arsenal were unfair on him, but I think David Raya justified Arteta's decision to move on from Aaron Ramsdale. The guy was making mistakes, really. He was making howlers after howlers at some point, even if he was making world-class saves. I think for a club that has got big ambitions like Arsenal should, clearly, he was not the right goalkeeper. Now, if you're Man United and you're trying to outcompete Arsenal to knock City and Liverpool off their patch, they've got Alisson Becker, they have got Ederson, these ones have got David Raya, and you're talking Aaron Ramsdale. Doesn't make sense, does it? Regardless of the fee, 20 million quid, unless they are looking at him as a replacement for Baindil, and then they get a better goalkeeper as number one. But even then, where is the emotional intelligence? Because it also matters. Even if Ramsdale, like I said, deserves to be in the Premier League, and that's why clubs like West Ham are also interested in him. He can also be a backup. He doesn't seem to be comfortable being a number two. He wants to be a starter. He thinks he's good enough, probably good enough to start, but shouldn't be at Man United at this point in time. Emotional intelligence dictates that United now cannot go for a Man United reject, a Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool reject. It doesn't make sense. People will judge you. If it can work, because at 26, his best is probably ahead of him. For a goalkeeper at 26 is young, and Ramsdale has proved that he can be a good goalkeeper. He was close and knocking to being England's number one. But it also might not work. Now, in the event that it doesn't work, what are you going to tell Man United fans? So are you going to be a club making mistakes after mistakes? You're going from David De Gea, who was the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, replace him with a second best goalkeeper in the Champions League in Onana for 50 million quid, world class at the times. At the time he was bought, I told people United wouldn't have paid 50 million quid to Inter Milan to sign Onana to replace De Gea, who was the best goalkeeper the previous season, if he weren't world class. So he was world class, but just like other players, the outfield ones, the Di Marias, the Falcaos, there are many players who have come in at Man United with world class status but have failed at Man United. Just to show you that the problems perhaps are not exactly just about the players, it's the team, the group, but also the environment they play in. So even Onana, it's unfortunate that for him, he's even a goalkeeper. If you're a goalkeeper, it's even worse. De Gea was exposed. He was best goalkeeper the season before he left, but he had some of the worst games in the same season because of the poor team he was working in. So as a goalkeeper at Man United, you've got to be better than everyone. I think that's what you've got to be. That's why De Gea was able to start in between the sticks for all those years when United was still struggling, and he was still clearly a good goalkeeper. Now for Andrew Onana to be replaced by Ramsdale, who I think even at his best, Ramsdale has never got to the level of Onana of Inter Milan. I think it's laughable. It doesn't make sense. I think it's again proper. I mean, if the Glazers were in charge, John Mata, Richard Arnold, it would probably be something I would think could happen. But knowing how Ineos are determined to get it right, how Ruben Amorim doesn't want to make any stupid mistakes, I don't think this will happen. I would be shocked if it did. I would be shocked. I would be hoping it works if it did, because, like I said, not that Ramsdale is a poor goalkeeper. I think there is a goalkeeper in him. I think he can shine somewhere, but it's not the right time for him to be joining a club like Man United. That's my honest view on this whole Ramsdale to United situation. It doesn't make sense at this time. It doesn't make sense. You can give me your opinion. Drop down a comment and let me know what you think. But I mean, you don't let go of Onana to sign Ramsdale. I mean, I could say getting Ramsdale now, I would rather stick with Andrew Onana. And of course, the superstitious fans will say this is a jinxed guy. How do you bring a jinxed guy to a struggling team, the worst Man United in history, flirting with relegation? Are you trying to get them relegated the next season? Is that the ambition? What is the goal if you bring Ramsdale? How much of an improvement would he be on what we have? Wouldn't you rather stick with what you have, or perhaps elevate Altel Baindil? What's the plan? Are you bringing him as a number two, as a backup? Ramsdale doesn't seem to want to be a backup goalkeeper. He feels he's a starting material. Is he starting material for a Man United trying to be revamped? I think if there is one department at Man, we can understand having the 20-year-old doggos who are from Lecce, outfield players who can really be lost within, mixing the team and perhaps over time grow into good players. You cannot afford to have a mediocre goalkeeper in a rebuilding team. You must have the best goalkeeper to form the foundation, because they will get at them. If they are not good, the team, as it grows, it will be destroyed. If you understand what I mean, it will be difficult to move. That's why United's first signing now clearly has got to be a top goalkeeper. If they get it right with the goalkeeper, the rebuilding can happen, and it doesn't matter how mediocre the outfield players are. As long as they've got a good foundation in between the sticks, the young players, the Aiden Heavens and the other young players, the Diego Leos and the likes, they're bringing in, can grow on that with a few senior players littered in the outfield. But you cannot have such a mediocre goalkeeper in a rebuilding club and you think you will move anywhere. You can't. It can't happen. So my verdict, it's not happening. It's a rumor, interesting one, laughable, but that's all it can be. That's all we can say about it. I don't see Manchester United spending a nickel on Aaron Ramsdale. He will go to West Ham. He will stay in the Premier League. Eventually, I think he'll get a club that signs him, but it won't be Man United. For me, I would be shocked if it were. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Remember, we do have a game coming up, counting down to it, a crucial game. Amorim is said to have lost it completely. He lost it. He lost it. He went mental over the players after that very poor performance individually, mostly for the club against Newcastle. And he wasn't complaining perhaps because of losing to Newcastle. It's the manner in which certain errors were being made, making the coach look bad. I was seeing people like Kasuku attacking the coach. I mean, you cannot blame the coach for Diogo Dalot's failure to mark a man, to just do a basic defensive duty of cornering off a guy to not cross a ball. You cannot blame the coach for Altel Bindil's chip, overhead chip in the middle of the of the park, close to his goal, instead of clearing the ball away. You cannot blame the coach for the poor pass from Manuel Ugarte that gifted Tonali the goal. You cannot blame the coach for everything. Whereas, yes, he's got to take responsibility. Even the players have got to individually take responsibility sometime. And that's why I think he must have given them that dossier. That I'm sure will forge a reaction from them. I hope that is the case on Thursday. We've got time for that game. We'll talk about it. For now, drop a comment and let me know your view about Ramsdale in a Man United jersey. Snapdragon. It's not happening.